Hello everybody and welcome to the Lab Cabin. Since everybody wants to start this fucking show today because this is our 60th show, Dez, how the hell are you piece of shit?
I'm fine, yo.
Anyway, fuck you, Cordell. How the hell are you? We're here with Mr. Cordell McCarthy.
Blessed and highly favored.
All right, no woo because it's the 60th episode. I guess we're going to just change that. I'm Ray Bell.
Woo!
We're here doing the best we can, the best way we know how. Dez, how the hell you been? You been gone? They were looking for you last week, this first episode.
Well, I cut my finger. Very, very
It
bad.
just had to be a fucking middle finger, didn't it?
I
Is it
cut
good?
it very, very bad. Look at that shit. You feel me? Don't touch. It's all
Just get that out my face.
Yeah, okay.
It's rude.
Yeah. Sorry to go through that.
So you cut your finger, and what were you cutting when you cut your finger?
Well,
Not a delicious steak, was it?
I wish
Not
it-
a manly brisket.
I wish I could say it was something manly, but it was lettuce. It was a head of lettuce.
I just see you all Frenchy cutting lettuce. And now we cut the lettuce. Oh my God! What everywhere? Cordell, how the hell you been, man?
I'm doing good, man. Growing the beard out.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
cutting until the wedding is coming up. So
Okay, so here's the thing.
So
About the wedding.
before I
Is there no beards? Do you know? Or are you just
oh
doing it?
no. I'm just doing it.
Okay, cool. I was about to say.
I'm giving up. I'm not eating meat. I'm on like day 4, so I'm doing. Really
Hold
well.
on, wait. Are you eating fish?
Not right now.
Wow, you're doing it all the way
so
live.
you a real live rabbit. Chocolate rabbit.
Trying to, man. It's hard out here though. But yeah, 4 days. So just drinking water on that plant shit. So
What's up, man?
Shit like that.
no, it's stressful. I'm hungry as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Just remember, man. You know what I'm saying? Plants are treated just as bad as cows.
Oh no, I ain't
You know
doing
what
it
I'm
for that.
saying? You know, don't do it for the saving the cows routine because that shit don't work.
Mm.
Anyway, so we got a lot to talk about.
Hold on. So how long are you doing that?
I'm gonna do it at least for the next 60 days, probably.
Des, you should join me.
If I can't do it, then I mean, if I can do it, I'm gonna just probably keep doing it.
I like animals too much.
Wait, so you're just gonna if it works, you're gonna be like, I'm just not gonna eat meat no
Mhm.
more. That's what's up, man. I applaud that. Good job.
But,
I can't do it. We need more like you.
Yes.
thank you.
Save some of these animals
So-
out here because
so-
I'm eating the fuck out.
Can you like
Coochie is not involved, so I will still eat that. I haven't, you know what I'm saying, but if I get a chance to, I will. So the only meat I will be eating is coochie because that's pot roast.
Okay.
But other than that,
Well, can you use like chicken and beef seasoning or like?
No.
Yeah, man. He's gonna. You're
I
not
mean,
gonna do those, the beef carrots or
It's
whatever.
not. It's not real meat though.
I'm not doing none of that shit.
He don't want temper.
I don't want to taste it. I don't want to see it. And I've actually went out to eat like the last like 4 days, and I've been with people, and they order stuff, and I was
You've been
just
the
like,
odd guy.
let me get the salad with no cheese, please. I want a Caesar salad with no crouton.
Oh, I thought you were the guy like, okay, this is gonna be really weird. Let me get a hamburger
No, hold up,
with
wait.
everything on it but the
Before you
burger.
finish
I
that,
don't want the
we
burger.
called my sister up. I was literally on the phone with her. I went to Tim Hortons, and I was like, hey, I want a grilled cheese sandwich with no cheese. They're like, what? I said I want a grilled cheese sandwich with no cheese. So they're like, so you want toast? Bitch! I said grilled cheese sandwich with no cheese. Worked it out.
So
That's
what,
impressive.
what do you have against the cheese? Because I know you ain't
Um,
get
You
cheese.
shouldn't be drinking.
Actually, they're saying that cheese is basically it's like eating fat for the most part. So it's like with you adding cheese to a burger. It's a long story. I don't want to get y'all into the shit. I'm not fucking with dairy. I'm lactose intolerant anyway, and so I'm finally listening to my body. I eat certain shit and it makes me sick. So it's like instead of me being sick, and I've been feeling better actually, I'm not going to eat the stuff that makes me sick. So I get sick when I eat steak, even though I love prime rib. It's my favorite food in the world. It makes me sick.
So now you tearing that porcelain the fuck up.
Listen, man, we over here, we trying to be healthy. So next time y'all see me, 60 days, I should have dropped some weight or I've done some shit I ain't had no business.
He went on a bed. Pizza! All the pizza!
Man breaks in the roosters. They had to
Now we have to go out to eat so we can watch him order some weird shit and talk shit.
I can visually see that. He's just in the room like,
Just killing me.
Give me that back. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. We got a lot to talk about. So, Des, you want to start off with anything in particular?
I mean, we could talk about what happened down there in Charleston.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for that ignorance that went on down there. Okay, so I guess the obvious is that what is it, Aryan Nation or
They are the alt right, and also the white nationalists have come up, and they led a rally on a Friday of all fucking times.
Thank you.
You guys are losers.
All right.
But what's funny is like I said, they did that at I guess it was a campus, but like they didn't take that shit down to Virginia Beach. Like if you tough, go down there where people can actually combat the shit. Now I'm not condoning violence. I'm not saying that people should have like beat them up. I mean, if you want to protest, you want to protest. It's just
See, a Nazi punch a Nazi is not cool for you. I got you.
Yeah. That's silly to me. But this notion that we have that these white men are upset is like the world is yours. Like what are you mad about? Like you literally the world is yours.
So what I heard was the protest was mainly about White Lives Matter.
Yes, they want to take they want to take their country back, and they're saying that you will not replace us. But even with you put all of the minorities together, we don't outnumber white people. So it's like
I watched the Forbes thing of the top 10 richest. What was it?
People?
It wasn't people,
Animals?
but it was women. But I've seen the men ones before. That sounded like maybe two black people.
Yeah.
That's both genders.
Well, if you look,
You know
this is the.
as far as billionaires.
Let me just explain. Like I don't care about their outlook on it, but let me just explain where they're coming from because I did see an interview with one guy. I can't remember his name, but he is like a big dog and all this white supremacist stuff. And his thing is, he doesn't particularly care about exterminating other races, but he doesn't want to lose his place in America. You see, dude's an asshole. So the ideal is that if you look at the boards, let's say 700 years ago, hardly any blacks, no rights, nothing, can't do anything. As soon as they touched down here, it was all bad. You know what I'm saying? So move up from that, to where you're at like 400 years ago. You have blacks, they're here, they're slaves. No rights and anything like that. As soon as they get rights, they already start progressing and advancing. This is happening faster and faster in today's world. So the idea is by the year 2050 or something like that, blacks and other minorities will have overtaken the white population due to, interracial dating and just black people and other minorities produce faster generally.
What the fuck does it matter?
They don't. A lot of them have said, and I'm not justifying it, I'm just explaining from what I've heard, is that they don't want to lose their culture. They don't want like their white people to disappear, and they feel, why should I feel like it's okay for white people to disappear off the face of the earth? Why should I let that happen? Nobody would let their culture disappear off the face of the earth, is what their argument is. But the dumb thing to that is white people are still going to date white people. Mm-hmm. Black people are going to date black people. We're not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere unless you're purposely, like, genocide will be the only thing that takes out a certain race. That's it. There's no possible way to do it.
The girls are still going to be getting finger popped and raped.
David Duke is the guy.
David Duke. Thank you.
By the opposite, race. There's no getting around that.
No, there's no getting around it.
Especially if the race that you're really so much against is more socially popular. You know
right.
What I mean?
Right.
The ones that you bringing up is going to be the ones that's going to be attracted to that, just like as if it is now.
And it will always be that way. That's one thing that we'll always have, the people who are attracted to exotic. That will always happen. People will always want to say, okay, I don't really feel, connected to my race. I need to find somebody else. And that will always happen. That will never not be a thing. So just in your head to think that, okay, if we were to keep to ourselves, if black people were to be separated from white people, no white person would ever want a black person. How do you think this shit happened in the first place? Do you think the first interracial baby fell out from the sky, crawled up from the ground?
Well,
what do you think happened?
When you tell people like you couldn't do something or you shouldn't do something, you're gonna always have somebody like, well, why not?
Right. Right.
What's so wrong with those?
The exact reason I don't train at my job, because somebody will ask me a question about, well, why don't we do it this way? Why don't you shut the fuck up and just put the box on the shelf?
And you know what the crazy part about it is? When you go back in history and you look back in the times of, you know, when we were slaves and they were masters, they was fucking up their own race. Mm-hmm. If you go by that logic, because shit, you were sitting there secretly fucking, you know, the slaves and whatnot that created mixed babies.
Oh yeah.
So,
there's always
thing that, I mean, even black women were breastfeeding some of their children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's silly. And what I don't understand about this outcry is, like, I've been seeing a lot of people who at first were defending them, and then now all these videos are coming out. Now people shutting up.
Yeah.
But like, oh, what about Black Lives Matter? There is a notion. Black Lives Matter does not equal the KKK. Mm-hmm. They have never hung nobody. They have never killed nobody.
Right.
They did not kill anybody in front of your family. So we got to really stop associating every time these alternatives or whatever, alt-right, and then the white nationalists, we're not in the same league.
Right.
We're not even treated the same. It's not dealt the same. So it's like, that's a stupid.
So anybody that is outraged at the Black Lives Matter protest movements, or the people out there acting up a little bit or tearing up a lot, whatever you want to call it, you're outraged at that. You definitely should be. And I haven't seen anybody post that posted about Black Lives Matter. I haven't seen any of them post, and it's just kind of like, where are you at now?
Yeah.
What happened to all that hatred towards unpeaceful protests?
Right.
If you watch the videos, me and Des watched like 3 videos earlier. 3 videos earlier, and all of them were just people fighting tooth and nail, trying to take out. There was one black guy on the ground there hitting them with signs and boards and everything. It was like, is this the 60s?
Right.
Like, what the hell is going on? Right. And everybody's just like, oh, that's not good. That shouldn't happen.
Right.
Like, no, that's terrible. And you should be fucking outraged like you were when you were like, oh, Black Lives Matter out here breaking windows and setting things on fire, and they're dumb and stupid. I haven't seen any of that. And it's kind of pathetic. You're kind of a pathetic person. Also, the violence. Of course, I just mentioned some people getting beat, but the biggest thing was there was a car crash.
Homeboy from Ohio.
Thanks, asshole.
Ass clown.
Keep putting us on the map for dumb shit. We
Yeah.
don't need that kind of pressure.
Right.
No, Des has an Ohio State out today too. Like, represent.
Yeah.
No, but just the velocity at what he was going. I didn't notice it from watching it on earlier.
No, he went down there to kill people.
Yeah, he went down there to kill. He went down there with a motive. I mean, not a motive.
Premeditated murder.
Yeah, premeditated in his mind. He knew he was going to go down there to run somebody over. A lot of people have reported hearing die, you know what I'm saying, N-word, die this, before the crash happened. My thing with that is, here's the whole thing about that. That crowd included everybody. Mm-hmm. There wasn't one race that I didn't see there.
Right.
So what my problem with the person who did this, your beef is not with black people. You're just against everything that doesn't stand for you. Mm-hmm. That's Nazi shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This isn't a nation. This isn't an organization. This is Nazi shit. This is somebody trying to take over a whole area and completely delete everybody else that doesn't feel the way or see things the way they do. That's the worst kind of person. And for you not to call this terrorism straight up out the bat is just, it's terrible. I've seen Donald Trump get up and he was just like, don't do that. That's bad. That's a terrible thing.
He built his whole campaign off of hatred. And something else we need to really stop trying to separate is the white nationalists and the alt-right. No, those are fucking Nazis. The principles are Nazi principles. I'm sorry. Y'all want to say it's something different. It ain't.
No.
Y'all want the same shit.
Exactly.
This motherfucker went and ran through some people. Like you said, it was white, black. He killed a white woman. I think there was a black man that was murdered too. 3 people are dead, 19 hurt. He went and ran through people.
For some reason, we didn't exactly get a reason, but some police officers or some police officers in a helicopter crash. We don't know why, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come out that somebody's throwing some shit or shooting out or something. It has to be
laser pencils.
Right, if something happened. I mean, there's no possible way they just was like, oh shit, we don't know how to fly this damn thing anymore.
I just think people to be if you're going to be mad about, like you said, when you bring up, let's go back to the Colin Kaepernick thing. It's like I hear people and they always bring up when you have an argument about something that's a legitimate beef. They'll say, well, what about Chicago or what about Black Lives Matter? Okay, so now we all have a mutual thing that we can all agree this is some bullshit.
Right.
So if we can all agree that it's some bullshit, then let's work together. But let's stop trying to like confuse the narrative of shit. Well, all right, well that happened, but what about when Black Lives Matter? They fucked up a Starbucks. Ain't nobody ran over, bruh.
No, I mean, to some people that may be equal. Somebody's like, it was pumpkin latte season. It's the worst tragedy, man.
That's venti. My fucking venti. White macadamia nut.
All right, somebody explain this to me. What is
pumpkin
degree?
latte? It
No,
comes with the...
No,
Okay, sorry,
not the pumpkin. It's not the season. We got a couple more months. And I'm going to ask that question. What's the difference between first degree, second degree, and third degree murder? Because dude that I've seen online got charged with second degree murder for plowing into all them people.
I really never understood that. I never looked into
first
it
degree
because
is your actions, your direct actions, like you shot somebody in the head, point blank, cold blood. That's first degree. Second degree is if you injure somebody and then they die. Yeah, I believe that's how it is. And then third degree is if you knew about it but somebody died. Like let's say that there was a robbery that took place and you sat in the car and your friends killed somebody and you were in the car. That's third degree. I believe that's how they break it down. It's like if you had a direct chain on how. Now I'm not a lawyer. Eat a dick if that's not correct. However,
how about don't put in the comments why we're wrong.
But
we'll figure it out later and we'll come back and tell you another time.
But I believe that's how they break it down, is if you in cold blooded kill somebody's first degree. Second degree is if you hurt them and then they die. And third degree is if you knew about something that happened, a criminal act took place, and that person passed.
That's first fucking degree.
If somebody dies, you hit somebody. Like, oh, I didn't do it for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, they like to do the vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
What is it, 6 years or something like that?
I'll put it to you like
that
this.
ain't no vehicular.
If that was a brother,
if that was
a brother, we know that would have been first degree.
Right.
Like, if y'all don't believe that white privilege exists, like that in itself, he ran through some people at over 30 miles an hour.
Right.
He intentionally tried to hurt people.
That motherfucker, he was treating them people like he was Sonic and they was coins.
He was just going right through them. I need those. I need all those.
Right.
I need an extra life. No, life in prison, I hope. So, what my finishing thing on this is, do y'all see any other, I mean, for one, I know y'all don't believe in protests anyway. Do y'all believe in any other way to make a point?
Well, I mean, if somebody took a knee by himself and there was a big issue,
right?
There's a problem. So then there's a way how to protest, and that was actually a peaceful protest when the dude ran through.
Yeah.
So it's like you clearly can't protest anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my belief is, I mean, I don't know what's going to come of it. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I think that what we have to stop doing is stop acting like prejudice and racism does not exist. And to be prejudiced and racist are two totally different things.
Right.
But we need to quit acting like shit is not happening. Like, what irritates me is a right and wrong issue. Regardless if you're a black person, if you're a white person, we should both be able to look at some shit and be like, yo, this is some bullshit.
All right, this is fucked up. Regardless of how you feel about black, white, or in between, this is fucked up.
But if you keep going be like, oh, well, no, that's not what why are you actually an apologist for this shit that is happening? Like, this is some bullshit. It has nothing to do with color.
The worst thing I seen, the one thing I did see, and I actually commented on it, was somebody who had posted on Twitter or something like that. And they had said, well, if there weren't anti-protesters there, this wouldn't have happened. Right. How is that an argument? In any way, shape, or form? How the fuck is that an argument? You mean if people that didn't like this shit just shut up and stayed home,
right,
there wouldn't be no problem?
Right.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. So, I mean, clearly they have a plan.
Now, if they wasn't out there protesting,
bullshit.
Right. None of this would have happened.
Right.
So I mean, what could have, should have, man.
My thing is, especially for this particular situation. Oh, you got something idea? Well, my thing for this particular situation is, we really need to start idealizing better of what we have on freedom of speech and what needs to be said and what is, because this is inducing a riot.
Right.
This is something that's, like Des said earlier, you take these two situations, you put them together. He said he would never go to one because automatically it's going to be some hate.
Mm-hmm.
Automatically somebody's going to say something to him and he's just going to fight. He's going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of person he is. He knows that. So we need to start thinking about, you know, is this freedom of speech or are you just trying to start some shit?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not. The great thing about America is there is quote unquote freedom of speech, but that does not mean that you should be preaching ignorance.
Right. And they always said you can't go into a theater and yell fire and start some shit. And I think that's what this is, period.
Can let's say, for example, let's say ISIS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's an ISIS group here. They haven't hurt nobody, haven't this, that, and the third, but they're talking about the same bullshit that these Nazi motherfuckers talk about. Would they give them a platform, ISIS, and let them say
no,
freedom of speech?
No.
Not at all.
And then that's the thing about
no way,
exactly.
shape, or
and
form.
that's when
you
people
make a
talk
great
about
point.
Black Lives Matter. I laugh. I'm like, they have a headquarters.
Right.
If these were terrorists,
Right.
that shit would have got shut down like they did the Black Panthers.
Right.
So like, yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. They're not going to do that. They're not even going to try. You know, they're not even going to hear you if you say, "Oh, well, we're ISIS and we're not going to do anything."
Yeah.
You don't have any
And
guns.
that
You
just-
can check us out. We just want to promote killing Americans.
Right.
And that just
Stupid.
leads me to believe that, you know, facts, not fake news, that a lot of them Klansmen and all them motherfuckers is actually in the government running this shit.
Right.
Well, I mean, look at how the response, like the militia that showed up that were armed, there was no riot police out there.
No.
But the Black Lives Matter, which was peaceful, there was no
It was
fight.
like, those
They was ready
cowboys,
for war.
those cowboys got a problem and they need to work it out. We're going to stand here until we get shit right. That's how that shit went down. And they had guns.
Yeah.
They had straight
They were
up
armed.
guns. They were like, "Hey, this shit's cool." And people were actually rooting them on.
Yeah,
like
no.
I remember going back and looking at that, and they're like,
I've got rid of so many
"Took
people off
them
my thing. Like, I feel like if you posted that in like any,
That's
especially
so
all
dumb.
this week, if you support any of that shit,
right."
not only when I see you, I'm smacking the shit out of you, but you gotta go.
Okay, so me and Cordell had this conversation earlier this week, and I'm like, you know, I interact with people for the sake of interacting with people. I want to make sure that I'm one of those people that's I'm sitting there waiting for that person that's stupid and saying, okay, nobody else is going to talk to you. I'm going to at least try to explain this to you. Cordell's like, fuck that. Fuck them. They can eat a dick. Go. And I'm like,
Listen,
Cordell has no time for the bullshit.
because like there's this thing that they, I think like Charlemagne has said this, and I've heard other people. It's like you have to engage with the other side. My thing is it's to me it's like talking to like sometimes the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to hear what you want to hear, so it's like there's no point in me trying to educate you because
Right.
you have the same access to the tools that I have to see shit.
Right.
So it's just like when I hear people talk about, you know, Black Lives Matter and they're terrorists and all this other stuff, but then it's like, okay, well, if we say something, oh, well, that wasn't Nazis that did that. That was people dressed up like this. And it's like, well, if you have that same kind of optimism that this is not your people doing this shit, then you should have that same when it's like, well, damn, let me actually do some research.
Right.
So that's why I completely refuse to engage with people because me, I'm about that action. I'm not about to talk. I'm not about to argue with you. I will smack the shit out of you.
I often get criticized for being that guy standing in the middle line waiting for people to come, and I'll be there. You know what I'm saying?
right?
I'll be there. with you.
Some of the people on your page are very special. You have some special friends. I'm sorry. You know, if y'all support the show, cool. But if y'all don't eat a dick. But he just has some friends on his page. And I'll be like, oh my God, Ray's just a better. You're a better man than me.
I don't have any blatant like racism on
No.
my page. I don't have that, but I do have some misguided folks on my page. I'm like, did you just write that?
It's not even misguided. It's like, oh, that's not what you think it is. Like, they're quick to say that stuff shit is not racist versus actually dealing with, okay, this is some racism.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's do a segue because we can talk about this all day. But like,
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, in the NFL just passed down the 6-game suspension. Those who are not football fans, I'll dress this up for you. So his time here at OSU, there was a lot of shit that went under the radar because he was a star athlete, but he was getting to some shit while he was an OSU Buckeye.
Yes, he was.
Long story short, him and his girl had a tumultuous relationship. Police were called. People were very rarely arrested. Stuff happened. He allegedly roughed her up, but there were no charges that were here in Ohio. There were no charges that were here in Florida, where 2 of these things actually occurred. So Roger Goodell, who is the NFL commissioner, suspended him for 6 games. So now there's this meme going around that I forget the Giants kicker, but he admitted to beating his wife. I think his name's John Brown, actually.
Right.
He admitted to beating his wife over 20 times. He got 1 game. He told Roger Goodell about this. They gave him 1 game suspended. Ezekiel gets suspended for 6 games, which under the new policy, that's what they were both supposed to get.
Right.
But one is like, oh, well, it's just because Zeke is popular. He had to make a bigger splash. That's why he got suspended. And it's just like, okay, I'm sorry.
So the person that was on my page that said that, and I read it, and I looked at it, I'm like, it's because he's popular, and he had an amazing year. That doesn't fucking matter.
And one is a fucking kicker. Now the kicker, y'all don't have to be smart to know what he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, this is a Caucasian male. He admitted to whooping his wife's ass over 20 times.
Every day. All day.
The one brother did not get arrested. Nothing happened to him.
If you did that in a ratio of a year, he's been beating his wife for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, once a year. Like, you beat your wife once a year. It's like, you've been beating your wife for 20 years. Like, you would have to say that.
We talked about this on a previous show before. And I had actually
nothing's funny about it.
I went into detail about it. This particular guy, I think his last name is Brown. He whooped his wife's ass 2 years ago at the Pro Bowl, where all the NFL officials were. Not only did he whoop her ass, they moved the wife and kids to a completely different hotel. I told y'all about that.
Yeah, you did.
And they are, so not only did he fuck her up basically on work property, they all knew, like, this is a known thing.
Right.
He got 1 game. Ezekiel has been doing some dumb shit, though. He's been in a couple things. But where the NFL loses me is because they didn't say that, hey, we suspended him for these alleged allegations. They said just for domestic violence. So, of course, it looks funny, but my biggest thing is like I said, we got to call a spade a spade. Right. For that argument that he only got suspended because he's popular, you want your most popular athletes playing because it's a money thing. Let's be real.
Right, they put butts in seats.
Yes!
That's the rule.
Not a fucking kicker.
Right, upstairs is the rule. We love to win games.
Yeah.
We love to have a good season, but putting butts in seats is
yes.
where we make
You know what? He ain't on Ohio State no more. I don't watch the NFL no more. So
I gave him the NFL.
I could give 2 shits.
Yeah.
I could get 13 games.
I got a lot of people that are like, why would you give up the NFL? The NFL didn't do anything. Well, they did. It's the NFL's fault that things are the way they are with the situations. I mean, yes, it just came up a couple of years ago. Yeah, I mean, yes, this is all new.
I'm about to
you know what I'm saying?
saying?
Right, something else. You can.
That should be sexy as hell when the women be playing. You be like, God.
Scientists say they can tell who's going to win by who grunts the hardest. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people that are still going to watch the NFL, even though, of course, one of the reasons is because of Kaepernick for me, but the other immediate reason is because they're not doing anything about it with this. And that's the part that makes it, to me, like, this is kind of fucked up on the level of you're not supporting the fans. You're not taking care of the fans. You're pretty much catering to whoever the hell. Like, we don't want to pick up Kaepernick because of bad publicity. You're just catering to yourself. You're doing whatever in a very selfish way. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't rock with that.
Let me just jump in real quick. To the people who possibly are thinking about giving up the NFL, you have to be smart. You can't just give up on the NFL and watching and consuming the product. You have to also boycott the actual sponsors because that's who we're paying them. So, I actually have some names that I would like to read off. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put on my Facebook because we need the money first. I'll send it to you. But here are the sponsors. Find out who the sponsors and don't consume those products either.
Oh,
right.
man, you can't live. You see that?
Let me tell you something. All right, every single one of those, there's Kroger brands for all of those.
Kroger brand.
There's Kroger brands for everything on there. There's some kind of brand that is offset of
some
all
of this
those.
stuff now.
Well, some
Hey. That's why I changed my mind. I'm just gonna say, if you're going to do that route, be smart.
Right. I feel you. So, yeah, segue. Anybody got anything else? Because we have spent quite a bit of time on that.
I got questions if we were.
Yeah, let's jump right into questions, and then we'll probably do another thing, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, so we ain't gonna talk about Usher.
Oh, poor Usher.
Yeah.
He's suing them back, so we need to be careful because I don't want him to be on his new lawsuit. He's suing
Right,
everybody
Bill
back.
Cosby.
Now, I said this. Me and Ray was talking earlier this week, and I said this. If they start making it wearing like to slander someone's name, you get a mandatory. There ain't no talking about it. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying, plea deal. If you found guilty of lying on somebody, you get a mandatory 12 months in prison. I don't give a fuck if you Betty Crocker or you the Ohio State mascot. You doing 12 months off rip.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, a lot of shit that pop up when motherfuckers be slandering motherfuckers' name get cut quiet.
You know what? That is actually a good
It
story
is
because
good.
I wanted to talk about actually something that came up.
It's a great idea.
Future and Drake are actually named in a new lawsuit for $25 million apiece because a woman was actually raped at one of their concerts by one of the security guards. Now, the only problem with this young lady, I'm sorry if this happened to you, they don't hire the security for the arenas.
Right.
So we got to really get past this point to where every time something happens, we're immediately attaching it to a celebrity because getting raped is a horrible thing. But this wasn't even by somebody in my entourage.
Right, I can't. Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It also. Hey, everybody. Everything cut off earlier. If you get time, go over to Podbean. Check out. Does anybody have Podbean on their phone? I can. No. Anybody got Podbean on their?
boom,
You're
boom,
on
here. Podbean.
Podbean. If you can make that out. Go to Podbean. Check out Podbean and
The Lab Cabin.
find us on the Lab Cabin. You'll hear at the end of the show. Something happened to the video. We tried our best to do what we could do to get it back, but it didn't happen. So here we are. Everybody, thank you. Appreciate it. Des, give him the finger.
Nah, I ain't giving the fingers and shit.
Okay. I'll holler at y'all.